Target attempting to do an about-face on its line of trans clothing for kids, including tuck-friendly swimsuits. I can barely say it. The company tying themselves in knots to try and handle the fallout. Target's stock price was down some 11% this week, losing more than $9 billion in market value as Americans push back. But why is this happening, and what can Americans do to send a message? Joining us now, the national spokesman for Mammoth Nation, Drew Berquist, and the founder of Against Groomers, Jaimee Michell. Jaimee, thank you. Jaimee, and thank you both for being here, because I've been wanting to talk to you both about this for a while. Sexualizing children, Jaimee, it's on the rise. Exposing them to topics and graphic sexual materials in schools and the public is on the rise. A lot of this seems to coincide with the rise in this trans movement. People who are gender dysphoric, genuinely gender dysphoric, and I looked it up this morning, make up 0.014% of the U.S. population. Why are companies doing this?
Well, yeah, I think there's many reasons. I think that the sexualization of children is behind it to lead to normalizing pedophilia. I also think medicalizing children and getting them hooked up to the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry for life is a big motivator. I mean, they see walking dollar signs on these kids when they get them a little confused and sucked into their trans cult. It leads to mutilation surgeries and sterilization, and that comes with lifelong complications and follow-up procedures. So yeah. I think there's a motivation there.
Drew, it seems like this kind of social engineering is everywhere. What do consumers, what can they do to protect their values and their children?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and thanks for having me too. Look, this is simple. It's not been simple in the past, but it's simple now to go and vote with your dollar and choose to bring business elsewhere. There's so many great companies out there, veteran-owned companies that just align with your values, where you can go purchase a lot of the same products. They might have some different brands, but you know that you're not pouring into these companies. So I think that is the biggest thing, and the biggest thing that we push. Again, it's not always easy getting away from some of the big box stores that you're so used to and so comfortable spending at, but people have to do it if you want to push back against that. And that's something that we've done at Mammoth Nation. We've done the legwork and have almost 800 companies. Yeah,
it does require effort, and you have to get out of your comfort zone in terms of, well, we always used to go to the store, but maybe you shouldn't now. Jaimee, the Target CEO, saying recently that this collection is, quote, the right thing for society. I've been meaning to ask you, what does being gay and being trans, what do they have to do with each other? And why do you think the gay community in this country has allowed this trans movement to create an equivalency between the two?
Well, they have nothing to do with one another. And I've said this long before even the push on children. I've said, being gay and being trans, we have nothing in common. Being gay is about who you're attracted to, who you love, and being trans is about who you are, who you think you are. And I've always said I have more in common with a straight man than I do a trans person. It's just true, because it's based around sexuality. And I think that we were forced into this partnership, and a lot of people are brainwashed. Gay people, they're brainwashed. They don't understand how this is actually hurting gay people too. And we're standing up at Gays Against Groomers to push back and say, actually, no. There's many more of us that are not on board with what's being done than those that are, but they are just the loudest because they're backed by every powerful institution in the country. But, we're showing the public that that's not the case, and that we're not going to take it anymore, this agenda being pushed in our name.
Drew, the retailer introducing controversial T-shirts, tuck-friendly bathing suits, clothes designed by a professed Satanist. This was going to be a Bud Light situation. Are these corporate boards activist, or are they just not paying attention to the leftists who were working there?
I think it's probably a combination of both, if we're being honest. I think there's some companies who are just stuck on this ideology. They believe, and will die on that hill. These are our principles. We don't care what the middle of the road, everyday American and the conservative American thinks. And then I think there's some who just are naive enough to say, this person seemed like a good person. Let's put them in charge of branding and some of our ambassador programs and hope that it goes well. But I hope at the end that they're all learning their lesson, because we're seeing with Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch writ large, we're seeing with Target that this pushback is working. And I think it's so important. Years and years ago, I don't think we would have seen this response in America. but they've pushed it so hard, and particularly on the kids, which is where all of us come into play with this.
Right.
Adults, do what you want to do. When you get to the kids, that's where we draw the line, and this pushback has been working, so we encourage people to keep doing it. Shop somewhere that doesn't hate you in this country.
Drew Berquist from Mammoth Nation and Jaimee Michell from Against Groomers. We're going to have you both back because we're going to be following this, and thank you for what you do.